start doing stuff. Because idle hands are the devil's playground. Here it says workshop. Idle hands are the devil's playthings. Idle hands are the devil workshop. Yeah, but I guess it depends on what book you read. All right. Oh, I'm hot. I gotta cool down. You already had your pills. You had them early. You don't need your. You're so cute. You're a little old man with the little white muzzle. Little old man. Should we talk about the frequency of control? That's what I feel like talking about today. I see it everywhere, man. People, whenever like they get panicky, they just like their butt puckers and they just want to control. You know, it's like it's a frequency thing though. Like there's been situations where I wanted to control things in life. Like I wanted to I remember one time in particular I was getting mauled by a dog and I wanted to control that situation real bad. Unfortunately, there's circumstances in life that we are just as human beings are powerless. Powerless. And my heart is big today for all the powerlessness, people are feeling, for all the fear. I had a real nice conversation with a couple people at the park today. I had to change a heart on some things. I sometimes step forward with my wrong foot. And I could step out in arrogance and judgment. I'm INFJ. We put the J in judgment, you know. And that doesn't mean that I'm not beyond evolving past my natural state. Because sometimes my natural states are character defects, and I want to get past my character defects. I know I ain't going to do it 100% ever. I'm a human being. I'm fallible. I swear I try every day. I swear I try every day. Sometimes I fall short. Today was a good day. Hi, my name's Marge. I'm a Heyoke empath. I just like having these little talks on how I feel about things. I think it's important that people talk about how they feel about things. I think it's important they talk about how they feel about things all over the world. It doesn't matter where you go. I'm so tired of the pretend earth. Like where people have to act a kind of way. Something different than their natural inclinations. Because other people are more comfortable with keeping things surfacey, and because they don't have a heart, so they don't know how to relate to others. Watch and learn. You can go past your character defects if you are so inclined to identify with anything that I just said. And today I went to the park, and before I was there, and I talk about it on these videos, there are these people on Wednesdays that bring food down to homeless. The people that fell through the cracks of society, and most people don't give a shit about because they're too busy living that best life. They don't want to be brought down by such tales of despair and woe. Turnabout's fair play. Anyway, so these people, last time they were there a while ago, they hand out all kinds of stuff. They get like socks and cold weather gear and stuff like that. Give it to homeless people and community. And it's on Wednesdays. And I keep saying I need to just quit saying it and just show up, you know, one day with the big old freaking couple of tins of freaking, you know, like lasagna, you know, stuff that like. Freaking that that'll stay with you and keep you warm, or like pasta and potatoes and stew, and you know, bring it out because I love cooking and there's always enough to share. So the guy, I can't remember the kid's name. They have a farm here in Taos, and then they do this every Wednesday, and they bring out and like make quesadillas, all kinds of stuff, good stuff, you know. And then one day they had like Narcan nasal spray. out on a table, and I was like, oh God, my arrogance. Oh God, I don't want to even be any place where somebody's gonna need that. Right? So easily forgetting my path. See, because my demons come in the spirits of alcohol. I'll let it ride. Anyway, the places that alcohol has taken me, would take me if I allow it, are the same places, well, everybody's talking about Matthew Perry, same places it takes him. You know, he might very well could have been, I hope he was sober when he died. I hope he was sober. I really do. For his sake, I hope he was sober. Because that sucks to freaking care so much about sobriety. And see how it just takes people's soul. It eats their soul when there's nothing left, and they just go around acting in demonic ways, just trying to hurt people because they hurt. So they want to, like a cat playing with a mouse. Ugh. So they were there today, and I walked up to this table, and I admitted my wrong. I said, you know what? I said, after I left that day, and I was all snotty about the whatever it is. Funny how they name things. I said I had a change of thought that, what if I'm someplace and somebody has an event that they need this? And so Jack, a nice man that was with them today that I met, he went to his car and got me another box, and then so I have one for the Suburban and one for the van now. Because there's so many people that are just sad. They're so sad in the world, man. Nobody, and it's like all they want to do is that's why so many people walking around talking to themselves, they're sorting out the inner dialogue that you would think that you would be able to do with other people, but other people, they're so caught up in their own groups and their own clubs and their own pockets of this and their own distractions here, and they're really not doing much of anything but what they want to do. But if people just freed up a little bit of their time to listen to somebody that's hurting, that is the difference between somebody jumping off the gorge, because people do that a lot, especially around the holidays. Holidays are coming in. That's programming, early programming, man. Freaking, I was so glad. I never did holidays like the rest of the people my peers did. From the ages 6, 7 until I was 12, and I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. We had to spend 11 and a half hours on a fucking Greyhound bus on fucking Christmas Day to appease a judge that never even put his eyes on me. Didn't know me or my brother, but he knew my grandma, so doing her favors. Want up there, bud? Jump, Mom. Want up there, bud? Good boy. Ready? Good boy. Good boy. Oh, good boy, buds. Good boy. Here, let's turn the fan this way. I've always looked for the outsider because I always been the outsider. I always was the new kid. We moved around a lot. We were the people, you hear stories about people that get up in the middle of the night and have to escape from bad situations. We've had to do that several times. Oftentimes from abusive relationship, right, Ma? Because if Mom didn't leave, the man would have killed her. Because it happens all the time. I'm so glad that Mom escaped. Mom's always a fighter. She's got 5 planets in Sagittarius, man. And she's 5 foot. She's she's native. She's Spanish. And I would just watch her with these guys because they'd get drunk, and they're disassociated. Their soul is out of their body. Like, they are consumed by their demons, by alcohol, by all, they're thinking about something their daddy said to them when they were freaking 4 years old. And she's disruptive to these thought patterns. And then, like, she would get in their face, and want to address situations and circumstances that would dictate a better time later. and and she'd just get at him and get at him, and I'd be like, Mom, get out of his, just leave him alone. And she'd be adamant, and then he'd freaking snap. And I don't believe in violence at all, because I grew up in such a violent circumstance. I just think, and this is why, because I've seen it. Oh, that's funny. Oh, wow. Interesting. Thanks for letting me know, sweet lady. Hey, I just made cookies, speaking of sweet lady. I don't want to get too far off that topic. I just made these. I had to probably put 4 cups flour in them because, where's the light? Because, the flour I used is sativa, and I used a lot of it. And I prefer indica. It melts better with the flour. These are Reese's peanut butter cups and mini M&Ms. Anyway. All right. I need a drink. It's still hot because I just took the cookies out of the oven before the talk. So there's so many people that are hurting right now, and all they need is an ear. That's all they need. All they need. I'm about to get my 2 folding chairs and a sign. You know it? And just invite people, because people tell me their whole life stories in the line of a grocery store. That's what Heyoka about. We're empathic. Our lives are hell, so we can help bring heaven to earth. Of what not to do. Of how not to treat people. And how generous people can be. It's amazing how generous people can be. And how little effort it takes to just let somebody know that somebody cares. I mean, I keep thinking about that Matthew Perry guy, I didn't watch Friends a lot. It started in my prime drinking days. And then, like, I got sober, and then, and I just, it was not, I watched it. There's a hand, ha, yeah, that's funny, yeah. But there's people that, like, would get up, would meet, like, everybody would meet on a Thursday night and hang out and make dinner, drink wine, whatever, watch, it would, like, brought a lot of people together, and I followed his addiction story as he was going, so I could tell. When he was on alcohol and when he was on pills. 'Cause I'm an alcoholic, addict. I'm a pig. I'm a fucking pig when I drink. It gives me permission. I allow it to give me permission to do whatever I want and be damned everybody else. Everybody else's life is their problem. I'm like my brother. I think like Jerry. I think like my Virgo brother. I think like it's what, that's what he told me when I said, Jerry, Oregon's on fire. We gotta move. My credit shit. Please help me find a place to live closer to you so Mom can be around her granddaughter Helly for a little while, because I don't know how many more years we got. And he said, She's your problem. Deal with it. Dude makes $160,000 a year. He could have put us in a place in a heartbeat. His friend from high school, he drove across country to help move to Texas. He could have come through New Mexico to see us. He opted to just fly back. He's a bureaucrat. Is my reason why I'm talking about this, because people on the streets will never get the help that they need because people like him are in charge. His thinking are in charge. I'm here to help turn shit around. I'm going to that meeting tomorrow. We're going to talk about tourism. I went to get the minivan. Went to get the oil change in the van today. Preventive maintenance, you know? And I become pretty, buddy, chummy with the employees there. I bring them, they like my cookies for tips. And the guy, I don't know if he owns the place. He's the older guy. He always checks me in. And I've been going there since we moved here. So 3 years this December. And I always ask him how his mom's doing. And the last time I went in, he was sad. He was like visibly shaken because he had just come from seeing her. She's in a local old folks home. And she was slumped over. And who knows how long she'd been slumped over for before anybody would even look in on her, see if she's all right, And she lost her will. She stopped eating and she passed away on the 11th of October. But he was there. And he told me how he was there. And then he got to wipe the last tear. The last tear from her eye. I hope he keeps it. And these are the stories that I hear when I go to get my oil changed. And I take a moment and I say, God bless you, sir. God bless you. I will walk your path one day, but for now, I'm taking care of mine, And there's people out there that feel so awful, because you know why I think they feel so awful? Not just because they don't take care of those, but they hate themselves because they don't know how to take care of people. They don't know how to help them. Heck, how many people can't even change a tire? So they just got to keep driving past. Well, hell, if you got AAA, stop and call AAA and wait with the guy. Use our resources to help people that don't have it. There's all kinds of ways. We really got to come together and help the community. That's what I was telling. Because that's the best way. Because, they want to bring all this tourism is, the only thing that keeps food on the table for people in Taos. Is because the skiers and the tourists and the thing of it is the locals, and I've done my own survey, and I'll be going tomorrow to share my findings, because everywhere I go, I ask people, how much do tourists impact your life? And is it positive or negative? Yeah, they come in and they spend their money. It doesn't matter if they're fucking douchey. Because money doesn't even matter. We're getting to that point. Fucking people just, God. And Taos is such a small community that they could just, shut off the freaking highway, not let anybody interrupt, and just be like, yeah, we'll be good. Nah, we need truck drivers. We need the truckers and stuff. Oh, my God. 80,000 truckers they need. Is that what I'm hearing? 80,000 truckers is what they need. My dad was a truck driver for 20. It's a place for predators, that's for sure. That's for sure. It's a fucking dirty, dirty world. Everybody's just looking for a place to put it in that world. Oftentimes, and it's different. And I'm not just saying. And there's a lot of family men that are truck drivers, and there's a lot of couples to do it. It's a vast world. It is definitely, the streets are a full spectrum place. And people that, generally people that work their 9 to 5 jobs, and they go home or go to the gym, and they have their, they're at the same places every day, every time, every week, every year. Like, that's their program. Truckers have a very different program because they don't really have, they gotta go to, like, the bay when it's ready. So it's hours of waiting. It's just all divine, like most things. But I think most people, if they've lived in a disgruntled environment, when they grow up, they want to manage and control it that much more. And I have used to do that and found the consequences in my actions and behavior, and then came to the realization that I have to relinquish control in situations in my life. And it's so hard for me to show up in the world sometimes because somebody gives me bullshit, and I'm like, I instantly have 6, 7 responses, and I'm trying to determine which one I should use. And some of my places are very hasty, and I don't always choose the right one. And so I've known my whole life that it doesn't matter if I follow the rules, regulations, policies, and procedures to a fucking T, and do everything that is required of me. It is still contingent on the person in charge that is gonna deem what my performance is as acceptable or not. And oftentimes my performance has been more than acceptable, oftentimes exceptional, and because their inferiority complexes in and of themselves will not pass me. And so I've known what the control freak was my whole life. Mom used to control and manage, like because she would freak out because I was a dangerous, what's the word? I was a tomboy. But I did things that were very dangerous to children, right? Because I came into this incarnation, my spirit, when I died last life, ended. I think I was very young. I was very athletic. I was male. I was some warrior fighter in some capacity. I've been a Viking. My soul has been a lot of in different incarnations. I have memory because I don't have interest in that storyline. That's how I know my soul has lived out that storyline, because I have no interest in it. My soul only has interest in storylines and life lessons that I haven't lived yet. So, I don't have to read books about so many things because I already lived it. That's how I've always looked at life. I love learning, though. I still love learning. So what was I think? Every time this part of the song comes on, my train of thought derails. Is Mr. Vane. What was I talking about? Oh. So people are in their power trips, people in their control frequencies. And the more people are fearful, the more the control frequency. So that's why there's peaks in history, because, look at all the energy we're getting. How come no other astrologers talk about this stuff? How come nobody talks about the shit I talk about? They don't. See, because when I think the sun is activating, right? The sun is we're coming up full, the solar maximum is this next year, and all these cycles of what is happening on the earth is going inside like the 10,000, all these cycles are all coming up like right now. It's really kind of freaky, right? So when the sun blasts, right? The sun goes around and we have like CMEs, coronal mass ejections, and it just blasts the energy. Energy is light, light is data. Okay? So you have the planets that are out here doing their planetary energy, Saturn, Uranus, right? Oh, Pluto is a fucking planet to whoever says he's not. You don't care what you say. Anyway, so they have their energy. The sun blasts. They get their data, light, information, storylines, and that activates within each and every one of us. Yeah, that's how it's. I wish I could. Maybe one day I'm gonna collaborate with some animators and see if I can do like an animation of how I picture this in my mind. So all these stories, and so people are highly activated, and they can come from a place of their heart, like they have one, like I'm a human being. I don't want to hurt people because I'm a human that's been hurt and I don't want to hurt nobody. Right? If they come from that place, usually some sort of compromise agreement can come, right? When people come from a place of fear, that heart thing goes out the window. People come from fear, their adrenaline's going, they're not thinking, they're not in their right mind, they're not grounded, and just automatic pilot. Who knows what you're going to get? So I think it's important that people really either don't put yourself in situations if you don't want to be around crazy nutty people, because the whole world's turning crazy nutty for one reason or another. Even if it's just because they never were disciplined. I mean, I see these looters and stuff. I mean, how many of these youths, these youngins, or actually they're people of all age, they're not even, it's all ages, it doesn't matter. These vibrational frequencies of control that have to steal, that have to take, cause fear, break windows, destruction. You know, one day they're gonna, how many, we're in the modern day Babylon. Self-will is running riot. I'm fortunate that I have positive experiences for the most part, and I don't go out much. So my simulation, where I've been allowed to be, because that's how my life is. I don't live where I want to be. I'm like assigned to places. I have assignments on this planet, contingent on latitudes and longitude. I've covered many. I've covered a lot of latitude and longitudes. So I'm ready to put that experience to good use. So I'm trying and figure out if I'm going to live stream part of that meeting tomorrow. Maybe, everywhere I go, I tell people about it. They're like, really? I said, yeah. They put a couple of posts on local groups on Facebook. I wrote on a post today about this meeting saying, if you really want to know how locals feel about tourists, go to the laundromats. Ask those people. Ask them. Because they don't got washer and dryers at their house. A lot of people don't have water. So many people live on the mesa, not because that they want to, but like society has been, it has become a puzzle that people just give up trying to solve. It's a game. And it's all contingent on who's in charge, and I think a lot of that shit's stupid. And I know I don't want to play it no more. And I know a lot of other people, they don't want to play it no more either. But it's getting fucking cold out there. And there's a lot of people that don't have enough stuff that they need here in Taos. And there's freaking millions of dollars that drive through that are sitting in people's pockets that come through this town every fucking day. Because it's, let's go watch that. Let's go look at the Indians. Let's go watch how the natives, look at the poor drunken Indians. And it doesn't benefit the whole town. It only benefits a few restaurants. I talked to a guy today, though. See, and this is what I need. This is why I get out in the community, because I want to hear what people in the community want. See, I know what I want with my little travel center and everything like that. And if it's going to happen, it'll happen. Because they need places to go, because there's so many people that live in their cars here. There's a lot of people live in their cars. I mean, truck drivers, they don't have places to freaking stay the night here. I mean, the country has become a very unaccommodating place. Robert Phoenix was talking today about how it used to be like it was designed to function. I was like, I've never seen the aspects of that, but maybe where your fluffy background. Anyway. So he was telling me how there's a building, and on the way home today after talking to him, I drove past the building, so I know exactly what he's talking about. There's a basketball court. It used to be the old Taos Youth building. They probably had like pool tables, foosball, stuff like that. And then they built this big old huge facility across town. And so he wants to put a skate park there. They put a skate park in the new facility. See, this is how bro club everything is, okay? Somebody hired their cousin. No, I don't know if they're related. But it was done by a bunch of pool designers, is what he said. I said they probably didn't even have a conversation with a skateboarder to get input on the skate design. They just said, this is what we're going to do. And so I'm glad that they open up meetings where they invite people to give their input. That's why I'm going. I'm going to help people get the word out more, so maybe more people go to these meetings. Because the only way things are going to change is if we get involved, and the only way people are going to get involved is they get off their ass and go do it. So I'm talking to me, too. Understand? Whatever I say out there, I'm talking to me threefold. Whatever I'm calling anybody out on out there, I'm calling myself out on, too. Welcome to the world of accountability, folks. It's going to be